Hey, this is the Bay Area cat. I'm being investigated, cyber attacked, and cyber bullied just so the federal government can hide what the military did to me. Now, I can't say that the military, you know, probably put a parasite in my system ever since I was a child. I suspect it's what causes chicken pox. It's what causes cancer and stuff. You know, and they gave me military immunizations. A parasite that get in your system fights to establish, any type of bacteria, any type of thing that it can use, as far as to sustain itself, to stay in your system. It's what I believe I'm going through. I mean, even though I pass all my tests and I'm all right, I never did let myself, my hormone level reach a certain level. And then that's what I'm trying to do. I suspect they're using military battlefield signal warfare, something the Coast Guard possess, to protect the coast, because, I worked around a similar device that an aviation ordnanceman worked on our aircraft. If an aviation ordnanceman works on a sonar device, we kind of like, if we're all Airedales, we know what it does. If an ordnance person is working on a sonar device. So, I think, in a sense of getting cyberbullied, they're interfering, with the proper process of me trying to treat myself, because the doctors want me to take a prescription to the point to where my nervous system just shut down and then I die. I feel it, when I take it like it's prescribed. So the investigators are going to put pressure on me. Just like yesterday, I was cyber attacked, into changing what I put about Dr. Ty. And then I put that I was cyber bullied for my phone and then changed it that Dr. Ty was trying to kill me because, he might not understand, what I'm going through. If he does, then, the doctors then already made their decision, and the investigators give them, and the legal courtroom give them the right to try to kill us, because the government is killers. And, in a sense of them, not taking responsibility of what they done to me. As far as all my tests go, it doesn't show up. I'm trying to get to the point to where, I can either leave evidence, of what they done to me, but they probably scared on what's going to happen, and or cure myself. I'm the only one really trying to save my life. Even though, I saved a few people's lives in real life, which was probably an attempt, tied to certain people, and organized crime people, because, the way it looked on the street, they wasn't really coming for me. They was coming from somebody else. But another thing is they could have been. But I should have been dead. I should have got shot in the face. So, as the investigators, they cyberbullied me in a sense of threatening me, blocking me from going onto the app where I need to go pay my rent, or I need to go see how much, when I came in the stores, I was blocked from that, So I think that's what the feds is trying to do, in a sense of my housing, in a sense of trying to threaten my housing. I might actually lose it just because of identity theft report. They probably want to hide my identity because they probably do know what vaccines I was given. I don't, from the military. And I do kind of like wake up in the morning and sense certain things that are not normal going on with me on how I'm alive. So I'm just going to live my life and then continue to carry on, and hope one day the government, will go to court and admit what they did to me. You know, I'm still fighting for my life every day. You know, with the help of other doctors, you know, we probably could resolve the issue, but they're not probably going to listen to anything I say, even though I'm dealing with this from experience. Have a good day.